Hey everyone, hope you're all keeping safe. So my new single, Old Friends, was released on the 15th of April and I'm super excited that it's out in the world. And today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about how it was all made. So initially, basically, sometimes I'll just kind of come up with things in my head and I'll just get melodies stuck and I'll be like, okay, I need to make this into something. And that kind of happened with Old Friends. I was just getting ready doing my makeup in the mirror and I just had this like, hey to all my old friends, guess we're just different. And I just kept having that on repeat in my head for ages and ages. So that kind of happened with it. And over a month I kind of had these little voice notes of little bits of this song, and I had some cool lines and then I got in a session with my friend Mino and she was saying, okay, so what do you want it to be about? And I was like, well, it's basically about like the rubbish year I had last year and realising that actually some friends who you think are really, a really close friend, they obviously just don't feel the same. And when you've had friends for like years and years and you just realise actually we've kind of grown apart, we don't really have anything in common now. So that's kind of what Old Friends is about, and people that just mistreat you and you just tolerate it for ages because you're like, oh well, what about this and what about that, and I might not find any other friends or boyfriends or whatever. That's kind of what Old Friends is about. It's about cutting out those rubbish people and then building yourself back up and being like, actually, I've realised I'm alright and I didn't need you, and thank you for making me feel rubbish. So I was chatting to Nay about this, and then I said, I don't really want it to be like a song that's like, screw you, I am over it kind of thing. And she said, why don't we go for like more of an observation thing, a tongue-in-cheek thing. So, like, well, this is how you were, and this is how I was, and this is why we're no longer friends. So we had a really good writing session, came up with some great lines, and I just moved house at the time. And in the pre-chorus it goes, it's just 'cause I got used to you. And we were like, what do you get used to that you don't like? And then I was thinking about my room that I just moved into, and I was like, well, like half the shit that's in my room that I've realised I've taken from my last flat to my new flat, and I just don't need half of it, and it's just hanging around like a bad smell. So that's why we put that line in. And then after that, I cleaned my room and got rid of a lot of stuff. So after the writing session, so we wrote the top line, which is melody and lyrics, and got some really cool chords down. And then she said, oh, I know a guy who I think could really suit this. It's a producer that she works with a lot because she's a songwriter. So we went into a session with this guy called Jory, and we just had a great time kind of jamming ideas around. And normally what I do is I have like a little sound pack where I've got sounds that I've used in my other songs that I really, really love. So I'll always send producers my little sound pack, and then I played in my other songs. I said, oh, I kind of wanted this tempo, this vibe, this is the feel. And then once he'd kind of got a bit of a grasp of my vibe and what I want, he started to kind of make it his own, and he came up with this little idea, the da 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 da, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, that is really cool. And then he just like backspaced and deleted it, and I was like, and he was like, yeah, it just doesn't work, does it? And I was like, no, it does work, it's great. So we put that in and kind of worked on the da 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 groove with me kind of singing over the top. There's an artist I really love called Bullo, and she's got a song that's kind of in the same vein but about a relationship, a guy that cheated on her. And it's just really, it's a bit more vicious than mine, but go and listen to it. It's called You and Jennifer by Bullo. So definitely inspired by that, the vocoder thing. And also, when we were writing it, I'm So Tired by Lauv and Troye Sivan had just come out as well. And you know how much I love Lauv. And they do a really cool poppy vocoder thing in there. And I was like, I want to try vocoder, let's see how it sounds. And it came out really, really well. And then the last stage is getting the vocals recorded. So I always get my vocals recorded in the same place in Soho Studios with my amazing engineer Dan. He's just so lovely, and he's just so talented, he's brilliant. He's the only kind of vocal engineer that has made my voice sound exactly how I want it to sound. And you're probably thinking it's a voice that sounds the same, but trust me, he just really takes all the good nuances from my voice and the really nice tones, and he just really brings them out. So I've got the vocals recorded for Old Friends there, and we played around with a few ideas of what we could do, and like you'll notice we just had a really great time when we were recording it, and I'll do like a few takes with each little bit, and then at the end I was like, hey, do you want mine? And we were laughing and giggling because we were just thinking about how the ridiculous the situation is when you kind of just hang on to old friends, you know. And towards the end of the song when we recorded that, I was a bit like, literally, why did I waste my life on these people for so long trying to please them? And like I kind of laughed the last bit, and then as we were listening to the takes, Dan was like, I think you should keep that in. I think it's playful, you know, and it shows like how you feel about it now. So it's very much, it starts like, well, you know, you love parties and I love paranoia, and obviously we're not really going to get on. Moving towards this, you know, hi, well, we're just different, never mind, let's move on with our lives, to them being like, God, this is, you know, literally hilarious, it's really silly that we were even friends for so long. So that's what Friends is about really. And then Dan as well mixed and mastered it all as well, got it sounding all dreamy. So I hope you're really enjoying it. If you haven't listened to it yet, the link is below, go listen to it, let me know what you think, and there might be a cheeky acoustic version coming very soon. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. Again, if I'm new to you, my name is Mino, and you can stream my music on Spotify, Apple Music, follow my Instagram, and all that. Take care and stay safe. Mwah.
So hey to all my old friends, guess we were just different. Let's pretend that I still care.